Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So today I think we have actually a very interesting story to talk about, and I'm honestly very excited to make this video. This is a video that as soon as I saw Travis Gafford and Tim Sevenheisen put out this video, I instantly knew I wanted to talk about it. I loved this idea. I loved this concept, and honestly, it was something that I had never really thought of. But today we're going to be reacting to a couple of frames in this video called No Refunds. Are Cloud9 players worth acquiring? This is an episode of Run It. This is a show that Tim Sevenheisen does on Travis Gafford's channel. So make sure you go check out Travis Gafford's channel. Go over there, show them some love, drop a like I just did on this video. Tim Sevenheisen also owns and founded Oracle's Elixir. It's a really awesome League of Legends esports website. Both of these guys do so much awesome stuff. They've been really cool to me in the past. Definitely go support them. I would appreciate it a ton. But they are talking about Cloud9 and all of the deals they have done the last couple of years with other LCS teams and how Cloud9 just keeps winning. And I think it's very interesting. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate it so much. Showing some love on a different style type of video, so the video still pops off, so the video still does well. Consider subscribing to stay up to date on all my latest content, and I would love it if you checked out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm, to go the extra mile supporting myself, my content, and my channel. With that being said, let's get right into this. So the premise of this video, as Tim does introduce, is over the last couple of years, everyone knows this, Cloud9, this goes back a while. Cloud9 has been a factory for developing players, playing them through their peak, and then selling them off to other teams and making a bunch of money. We've known this. This is no secret. This is part of Cloud9's business model. We know that esports is very expensive. Just owning the team is very expensive. Buying all the players, buying the facilities, buying, feeding these people, giving them a place to live, all this stuff, so expensive. Most of these teams lose money, if not all of these teams lose money. I think the last time the official numbers came out, TSM was the only profitable team. So these teams try to make money in as many different ways as possible, and Cloud9 has been selling off players for a ton of money. They have been so successful at doing this. But something I never considered, and what they talk about in this video, is how not only has Cloud9 made a bunch of money, these other players haven't really gone on and done much or had much success with their new teams. So not only have these deals been great for Cloud9, being able to make a bunch of money, and they've still found decent replacements, they're kind of ripping these other teams off too. So we're going to be going through a couple of these trades that happened and breaking them down. The first of these trades being right here, which was Palafox for Golden Glue. Now this is very interesting. Cloud9 had Golden Glue. He was part of that mid lane duo, the Swole Bros. When Golden Glue and Svenskeren would come in, they had that really great run where they ended up qualifying for Worlds. Golden Glue couldn't even go play with the team at Worlds or anything like that. But yeah, they didn't want Golden Glue for the future, so they were able to trade him off for Palafox, which was a great deal for Cloud9. Palafox was a very good academy mid laner who they then ended up selling off. So they got a very valuable, young, promising mid lane talent for a mid laner who was pretty hot at the time, but no one was really sold on him in the long term. He went to Golden Guardians, didn't do that good. He's out of the league now. He's a head coach, so they really didn't lose much. I mean, they didn't lose anything in terms of Golden Glue, and they got a very valuable asset in Palafox. I think this was very dumb of Golden Guardians to give up, but they saw Golden Glue as a short-term upgrade. It didn't work out. Huge move for Cloud9 here. Very great trade. Then we have another trade right here where they sold off a bunch of players to Evil Geniuses when Evil Geniuses was first coming into the league. Cloud9 got a bunch of money for this deal. I mean, they for sure, I don't know exactly how much, but they for sure got a bag. Svenskeren was the reigning MVP at this time. He was going to be the franchise player that Evil Geniuses was going to build around. Zeyzal was seen as one of the best supports in the league at this time. Kumo and Deathly were two kind of, or Kumo especially was an up-and-coming prospect, and Deathly was a guy who we'd seen a little bit before, but people were still kind of high on him as maybe like a player who could be good in the future. When we look at how all of this has gone, they sold off Svenskeren as a reigning MVP, and while Svenskeren has been decent for Evil Geniuses, I think he's been pretty good. And also, Evil Geniuses with Svenskeren might make it to Worlds this year. They might make it to Worlds over Cloud9. So really, Svenskeren, out of all the trades that Cloud9 has done, he is one of the players that has performed the best. But it's not like he's been the best jungler in the league. It's not like he's been the best player in the league, which during his time with Cloud9, he could have been considered. And not only that, Cloud9 was able to replace him with Blabber, who has won 2 out of the last 3 MVP awards, who has been a very, very dominant player in North America. Even though he's had some low lows as well, his highs have been way higher than Svenskeren, so they got a bunch of money. They were able to upgrade their own jungle position, and even though that worked out okay for Evil Geniuses, the rest of the players really did not. Zazel had one not great year for Evil Geniuses. Now he's out of the league. Kumo has bounced around between LCS and Academy, and definitely they tried to start this year, and he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good. So overall, Evil Geniuses lost a bunch of money, and maybe they got a pretty solid jungler out of it. You know, Svenskeren might be the 3rd, 4th, 5th best jungler in the LCS, but even this year, we kind of saw that he's a little bit replaceable. Contracts has come in and been very, very good in his time as well. I do still think Svenskeren is better than Contracts, and Contracts has had such a small sample size, but it just shows that Evil Geniuses, I think, is a very, very good team right now. I think Peter Dunn's an awesome coach. They have an awesome system in place. But Svenskeren's still been solid. He's, for sure, you know, Svenskeren has worked out better than, say, Golden Glue worked out, or even Zazel, Kumo, definitely, whatever. But still, Cloud9 got the better end of this trade. Getting that money, especially, again, when all these teams are losing money, when money is such a valuable asset in esports, this was a great deal. And now, finally, also the most recent deal that they have pulled off, which we have right here. Just got to fast forward a couple frames. There we go. This was this past offseason, Cloud9, once again, getting a bunch of money and selling off Licorice, Palafox, and Diamond. And this one is crazy because Diamond and Palafox were seen as 2 of the best players in Academy. And Diamond came in, and I really think he might have been the worst player in the entire LCS in Spring Split. This guy was not good. I mean, he was really, really bad. He probably wasn't the worst, but I think he was honestly one of the worst, and probably the worst support in the LCS. He had some weird plays, some weird deaths. He came in, and he was better in Summer for sure, but at least what they've got from him so far has not been great. Palafox was not as good as advertised so far. He has been one of the worst mid laners in the LCS. Still, you know, we'll see how he works out in the future. He's a young prospect, as is Diamond. You know, the story is not complete with those guys at all. But then also, Licorice came in. He was supposed to be the franchise player for FlyQuest. He was supposed to be that star top laner for them to build around. Even though he didn't have a great summer 2020 with Cloud9, they still knew that, you know, he was on that team in spring 2020 that was maybe the best LCS team of all time or whatever. They thought he was going to be the guy who's be the veteran to lead these young studs into the LCS. And that did not work out. And now Licorice is already gone off of FlyQuest. So again, they got money for 2 players who have bounced between LCS and Academy, and a player who is now on Golden Guardians. Cloud9 won this trade hard again. And it's just so funny to me how they keep winning these trades, how they keep making this happen. And getting all this money is how they have had enough cash to go out and land Perks, to go out and land Vulcan. And even in this trade where they got rid of Licorice, who's been one of their best players for a while, they go get Fudge, and now all of a sudden Fudge is in the MVP discussion. Cloud9 keeps getting bags for players. They go on to another team, they do worse. Cloud9 replaces them. They come in and do better. You know, for a while, people were just saying, oh, it's just Reaper coaching these guys up. But now Reaper's even gone, and Cloud9 is still doing their thing, which I think is so impressive, and I think really deserves to be talked about more, and I just think it's really, really funny. Now, what will be the next big trade that Cloud9 does? Who knows? I think selling off Blabber is a legit possibility. I think selling off Sven is a legit possibility. But if you're one of the other 9 teams in the LCS and Cloud9 calls to do some business with you, at least be careful. At least wonder what's going on a little bit, because history has told us Cloud9 gets the better end of deals, and that is a big, big deal. But that is pretty much every video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about all this? Who do you think is going to be the, you know, the centerpiece of the next trade that Cloud9 does? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay updated on the latest content. Consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.